Hi, and welcome back to the Messy Bookshelf. I'm Jennifer, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video. I'm just going to kind of talk because I've been thinking about a lot lately about why I read YA, like why I read young adult, because I read a lot of young adult books. Most of the books in the background here are young adult novels, and I'm 25. I'm technically an adult. So when I say I read young adult or I read teen fiction, I sometimes get like a stray like, why? Because you're an adult? But so I've been thinking about a lot that lately about why I read young adult books and why they're actually really important. Basically, once you hit the age 12, 13, you should be starting to read young adult books, and you should continue to read young adult books throughout your entire life. Reading young adult books while you're in your teens, it's to get experience, to understand that you're not alone, to see how other people react to experiences that you might be going through or you might go through at some point in your life. And even though I'm 25, I'm still growing and I'm still experiencing, and I'm experiencing things for the first time that I've never experienced before, even though I'm technically an adult. I'm not done living. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that, yes, they're about teenagers, but they deal with a lot of really deep shit. Yeah, I cursed. I said shit. I said it again. We're moving on. As an adult who reads mostly young adult novels, what am I getting out of this? Well, I am getting the experience of what it's like to be a teenager in this day and age. I'm learning what teenagers these days have to go through. I'm learning everything about different things. I'm learning about love, and I'm learning about friendship, and I'm learning about people of diversity, and I'm learning about adventure and getting out of my mind and using my imagination to go to these worlds that I could never possibly imagine of going to, because for the most part they don't exist or they cost too much money to go to. So as a bookseller, I often get people coming up, adults coming up, saying like, have you heard much about this? Like, I know it's a teen book, but, and I'll be like, are you kidding me? I love this book. This book was amazing. I don't care that it's teen. You should read it. You're going to absolutely love it. And I think it's important that adults read YA because, especially when you have kids of your own, by the time they become teenagers, you're not going to remember what it's like to be a teenager, or the times have changed, and when you were a teenager is completely different from when these kids are being a teenager. So if you ever have to deal with teenagers, seeing what they go through books will help you understand what they're going through in real life. Should you read regular adult fiction? Of course! Reading adult fiction is great. Adult fiction can give us more experiences and introduce us to new things that occur in the adult world. And when you turn 16, sure, you should start reading regular adult fiction to know what you're in for when you get into the real world, and to understand that there's so much that happens through growing up. And I think that's why I like YA so much, is that it allows me to still remain attached to my youth, but to see how much I've grown up. Because I've gone through this. I've gone through a lot of the stuff that they've gone through. I've dealt with friendships coming and going, and I'm dealing with like romantic relationships, and I learn how to do that through young adult books. 'Cause I'm still a young adult. I am young. I'm 25 years old. I'm not old. I'm a quarter of a century. I still have 75 years until I hit 100, and I have a long way to go. So reading YA is really important, especially from the ages of 13 to 30. Especially in those times, because you learn so much from these authors. You learn how to live. You learn how to live, and you learn that you're not alone, especially when you're going through hard times. A lot of the books out there about mental illness are really well done, and they should be read by everyone, because especially when they're written by people who are going through this, it's easier to understand when you're in the mind of a teenager who's going through this. And yes, most of these young adult novels are not written by young adults, but they're written by people who were once young adults. They're written by people who have experienced being a young adult and want to share their experiences with people who are now young adults and who are about to become young adults, and they have young adults of their own and they share their experiences with their readers through books. I was in high school and I asked one of the English teachers, I said, why is English a course that we do when the only good it's good for is to get an English degree? And he said, to gain experience. And I didn't really understand it at the time. I thought it was like this bullshit answer. But now as an adult, I kind of understand, because you're not going to experience every possible experience throughout your life. But through reading, especially reading young adult, you're going to get these experiences that you're not going to get anywhere else. And living those experiences are really important because it allows you to keep your mind open to new experiences, new people, different people. I feel like if society read more, we might be more willing or more accepting of people because of knowing what they're going through these novels, because we can't read minds. It's not something that most people can do. Some people, sure, they say they can read minds, but I can't. I'm sure most people who are watching this video can't read minds. So by reading books about other people, such as people in the LGBTQ plus community, people of color, people in poverty, people on drugs, people with mental illness, we learn about these issues and the diversity and what they have to go through reading novels. And sure, you get that a lot in adult fiction, but nothing is as primitive to growing up than the teenage years. These are the hardest years. From the ages 13 to 30 are the hardest years you will probably ever experience. I can't really say a whole lot to that because I'm only 25, but I've experienced 3/4 of that time period, and I can easily say that yes, my teenage years were really hard. I was very depressed. I was very unhappy. I had no idea what was going on. I wasn't even in tune to my sexuality at the time. I was dealing with a lot of crap. And now that I'm 25 and I look back and I'm like, yeah, a lot of that really sucked, but it was worth it because I'm who I am because of all this that's happened. And I wouldn't be who I am if none of this had happened. I wouldn't know the people that I know if I hadn't done certain things. Everything happens for a reason. And we wouldn't be here if we wouldn't be who we are if we didn't experience these things. But through reading books, we're able to experience so much more and become so much more better people. That's all I think I'm gonna say because I've rambled a lot, but I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any thoughts to add or any criticisms to comment, let me know down below. I'm very open, but I will see you on Tuesday. Bye!